Hey there, welcome to Neppy Invests. Today I'll be talking about Pointsbet. PBH is their ticker code. So if you're really into ethical investing or are very anti-gambling, this is definitely not the video for you because you won't be interested in Pointsbet at all. So as you can tell, if you don't know what this company do, Pointsbet, it is a betting sort of company, and they're making great strides, especially in America. Been on the ASX for a few years now, and have been a good growth story. Share price has been done very well for shareholders, and for those who are interested in a company that's able to penetrate into the American market, which PointsBet is doing right now, fairly exciting story. So let's get into their story right now and their Appendix 4C for October 2020. So they are a large company, so in terms of ASX or in terms of companies that do Appendix 4Cs anyway. So market cap of $2.2 billion. And I think a lot of that is just the potential this company has. Cash receipts only $38.1 million, but and cash flow negative in operations to the tune of $10 million. You'd see if you look at that, they're spending a lot of money on advertising and marketing, and no doubt all of that is being spent in the United States. So $28.6 million in advertising and marketing. That's in one quarter, so it's a fair chunk out of their cash flow that they did spend in advertising and marketing. And some might say you have to spend money to make money, so they really are pushing into that market. And of course, if they can really make some significant strides in the United States, that would mean a market cap of $2.2 billion would not be all that expensive. Next slide I'm going to look at is the financing activities, and the main reason I'm showing you this is they did a capital raising that's raised $353 million. That's a fair chunk, so they do have a lot of cash on hand. So even though they are burning cash, they have a lot of cash set aside for future growth initiatives, no doubt. So no worries there at all. And I think this is a really good thing what they did here. They are valued quite highly, and I think management of companies, especially like PointsBet, who are growing and see their share price rise quite a bit, doing a capital raising when the share price is high is more than likely a good thing, because you're able to raise a lot of capital and you create a safe environment for the company. And there are a few companies haven't done that, and I think they should have done. I think they've missed the boat on that. Cash receipts through history. So this is one of the most important things I look at. I like to see a good uptrend here, and no doubt there is a definite uptrend here. So going from $7.4 million in July 2019 to $38 million this quarter. So in just over a year, they've increased their receipts by over 5 times. Not too shabby at all. In fact, probably one of the most bullish things here is between January 2020 and April 2020, we saw cash receipts sort of sideways. I thought there might have been a little bit of a dip there, even a dip between April and July, especially between January and say May to June. We didn't see much spawning action throughout the world. Maybe not January, it was March. It was March through to May. We didn't see much spawning activities around the world. So the fact that the PointsBet was able to sustain a good cash receipts through that period is a good sign for the future. So a few things about their report. So I mentioned there a lot of cash, $457 million in cash. So how management deal with that increase in capital is going to be highly important. So for instance, 4 things that capital management can do with capital allocation: spend that money in dividends, buybacks. So no chance they're going to do that. The other thing is acquisitions. There's always a chance they might do an acquisition, or research and development, spending that money on growing cash, increasing shareholder wealth through growth, research and development activities, new products, a lot of things they can do with that money. So the 2 things on the left-hand side there, we have the group, then Australia and US. You can see the growth in turnover, gross wins, active clients. Let's look at the active clients. So in Australia, they've gone from 72,000 a year ago to 125,000, so increase in 73% in a year. And in the United States, it's gone from 15,000 to 40,000, so 160% increase in a year. So they're really starting to increase that United States, but still Australia is their primary market. But I have no doubt if you ask this question to management, they hope that the United States becomes their most active market. So what is an active client, which was an important thing for me? It's some client that has made a bet within the preceding 12 months. So they might have more clients than that are not active, but all you need to do is one bet and you consider an active client. And then on the bottom there, we've got what they're doing in each state. So they're not active throughout the whole country. They do deals with individual states, probably something to do with the laws there. And you can see they're very active in New Jersey. That's where the most of their activity is in the United States. So turnover 135 million there. Compared to Iowa, only 5, Indiana 14, and Illinois 10. So New Jersey is their primary source of income or activity in the United States. So they are operational in those states, plus they're launching in Colorado and Michigan. So I'm not sure what they're launching throughout the whole country, the scenario there is, but you'd think they're going to be aiming for those larger states. Wondering if they're thinking about Texas, California, New York, that sort of thing. Although New York is very close to New Jersey, and maybe a lot of people go to New Jersey to make bets. I don't know. Chart-wise, you can see a good uptrend here. Massive spike in volume and price at the end of August. That would have been August 28. I think they released their results on that day, but it wasn't the release of their results that saw this massive spike in share price on volume. It was a deal or partnership with NBC Sports. So that's one of the large, I'm going to say TV companies, but maybe it's more likely an entertainment company because they probably have not only TV, but other things they do. But anyway, point is, massive increase in share price. I followed Pointsbet on that day and a few days after, but if you got in towards the high of that day or the next few days, you would have bought in at the high. So the share price has come back a bit, and $10 seems to be a good level of support. So if it gets to around $10, that could be a good buy price. But then if it gets below $10 consistently for a few days or a few weeks, that would be a bad sign for the future. And around about $12 seems to be around resistance. So it looks like it is trading through a range right now between $10 and about $12 or so. So that's all I've got on Pointsbet. This is a highly interesting company. I think it's going to be highly important to see how management deal with that $457 million of cash on hand, what sort of growth initiatives they have in mind. But it's a very exciting company, growing quite strongly, and the fact that they are starting to get a lot of traction in the United States is a good sign for future. It's a company that I've thought about quite a few times in buying. I've just never bought into it. So I'm still be following this company, follow them for a while, and if I do see a massive weakness in share price in the future, I will definitely buy in. So that's all I've got on this video of Pointsbet. If you've got any questions, leave a comments. If not, just keep in mind I am not an advisor, I'm not a professional, so if you do need professional advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to you about your own circumstances. That's all I've got on this video today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good day. See ya.